Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the next round here of the RockinEsports $700 EU West Tournament. We do have our teams ready to roll. 9 odds going to be on your left, RappingTables on your right, and we are into the round of 16. Very exciting stuff here, Rapid.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you got 9 odds versus RapidTables. Had a little bit of an issue getting everybody into the room, but everybody's here, ready to go. Have some really high elo players, some really high elo play, and some really awesome teams here in the round of 16 of the Prolima Tech Cup #1 here, put on by RockinEsports. So make sure to go check them out, both Prolima Tech and RockinEsports. And here we have 9 odds versus RapidTables, and already a Jace ban. First thing right off the bat. If you guys have been watching any of the high elo streams, definitely one of the most banned champions now, just so strong as far as the current meta game is concerned.
Yeah, Jace, when he came out, wasn't entirely too sure what we should be thinking of him. You know, people try to put him bot lane for his range, people try to put him in jungle, but now he really is solidified as one of those big bursty bruiser types in the top lane. Definitely with that Mercury Hammer, a lot of different abilities to his name. It's Nidalee players rejoicing because they have someone else with it. It's almost as many abilities to their name. So yeah, Jace, very bursty, very hard to deal with. I've noticed Rain Man able to do some really good things with him, and especially in Dominion as well, he's become quite the fierce competitor. So no Jace for us today, but Malphite, Auri also on the table. Shen, nothing really too surprising about a Shen ban.
Yeah, kind of interesting to see the Ahri ban. I mean, I know she's really rough to deal with. She can do things that no other champions can. So maybe a good idea to get rid of her, but I don't know. I'd be interested to see if we see a Rengar ban here. I know he just got some buffs that some people feel were just like, why on earth would you buff somebody who's already OP? I mean, they took down his AP ratios a little bit, but still just really, really strong right now, and be interesting to see what these guys do go ahead and pick up. Looks like we have our first pick for 9 odds. What do you think we're going to see out of these teams?
Well, I mean, RapidTables, as we said, was an average 2.6k elo team. I mean, everyone there is over 2,000 mark. Some of them even in the diamond that apparently 2,200 is reserved for. So, I mean, that just goes to show that their solo queue potential is really good. So their mechanics should be fairly solid. It just really comes down to the other, factor of a team. Communication and teamwork. Are they going to be able to combo a lot of ults? Are they going to be able to just read each other? That's what I'm more interested in to see. That being said, I don't expect anything too strange from a team that high up in the ladder. It's like we did see that brutalizer into Ghostblade on the Sivir last game. I don't expect to see anything quite like that this round.
Yeah, I mean, we do have a 1,400 versus a 1,500 ranked 5v5 teams, so they have played together before. I believe that the only difference between their ratings is that 9 Odds Gaming has about 1 less win as far as their ranked 5 team is concerned. So just both, they have played with one another before, so they're familiar with each other's playstyles, but be interested to see exactly how they come out, what they have to offer here. Looks like as far as the bottom lane for 9 Odds Gaming is concerned, we are going to have Cleanse and Tharwania grabbing that bottom lane combo of Corki and Sona. Yet again, another Sona pick that we see, just a really, really common, really strong pickup here, and that's what we're going to have here in the bottom lane with Maokai, who could actually, I've seen a lot of mid lane Maokais who go just super hard AP, and then that ult really hurts later on, but
really?
Most commonly seen in the jungle. Yeah, dude, it's actually really interesting, because when you put a lot of AP on Maokai, his wave clear is ridiculous when you just throw out those saplings, and as soon as you drop your ult, if you drop too many spells inside of that, it hurts so bad.
Wow. I don't think I've actually seen the Maokai mid, but I do know that he does have some of those AP ratios. It's just typically you never see them actually enacted upon. Kind of like an AP Amumu. You're like, whatever, it's an Amumu. You spat him on the head, but no, he has 600 AP. Kind of hurts.
Just a little bit.
Just a little bit, yeah. Thank you for the reminder, though. I have now put up the spell blockers, so feel free to pick out your summoner spells, guys. We won't be revealing those to anyone.
Really? I totally thought Corki was going to go Cleanse Surge.
Clarity Surge?
Clairvoyance. Was it Clairvoyance or Clarity? I don't know. He had some random spells up there, but yeah, summoner blockers in place. We don't know who's going where. I have seen pretty much every single person on RapidTables jungle before. I've seen Jungle Graves, Cho'Gath, Blitzcrank. Haven't really seen Cassiopeia jungle, but
A
we'll
little
see
harder.
exactly where they decide to put everyone.
Now, I have seen a Jungle Graves by Atlanta, of all people, back, and he's on Picture of a Goose. And he kind of, I was shoutcasting it, and he messaged me afterwards. He's like, so, that was a mistake, that was a misclick, and I got stuck with it. But it happened. They won the game, it was all good. But yeah, Graves in that bottom lane looks like we're probably going to have a Blitzcrank there. And a Cho'Gath. Cho'Gath top or Cho'Gath jungle, both seem to be fairly good, especially with that rare skin going on, the Battlecast.
Oh yeah, definitely has some pretty sizable boom boxes there, that's for sure. So I think that's when you look at the team composition here, looks like
Your
everything's
leg, man.
really, really. I'm barely moving it.
I don't know.
I hardwired straight to my microphone. All right.
No
all right,
clue.
Be perfectly still. All right. Must not move. I hope somebody picks Lee Sin so that we can have somebody else who's going to be as tranquil as I am right now, because nobody is going to have any of those snide comments like I'm seeing in chat. So here we go. It looks like the lineup is fully solidified for 9 odds gaming. Corgi, Sona, Maokai, Jax, and Orianna. So another Orianna coming out here. Definitely a common thread amongst these teams.
Yep, nice solid mid, as we did say. I mean, Pharrell Lord, the Trout Lord himself, he did hit 3K, and he was just playing Orianna the other day. So not a terrible choice. And again, Cassiopeia mid. We did see, who did we see? Ari mid last round. So we're gonna have to see what kind of matchup we're gonna get from an Orianna versus a Cassiopeia. Now, do you say Cassiopeia or Cassiopeia?
I always said Cassiopeia, but
Yeah, so did I.
I mean,
Okay.
it's a constellation, so I feel like it has a history of a fairly reliable pronunciation. But then again, it's a little bit like Pirates of the, and then you insert that word there and start fighting about how to pronounce
Pirates of
it.
the Caribbean.
Caribbean.
Potato, potato.
Something like that. Anyways, it's the snake lady. She came out. Everybody's like, oh my goodness, she sucks so much. And everybody's like, oh my goodness, she's so OP. And now everybody's like, oh my goodness, she sucks so much. And now she's actually decent. Has a lot of matchups that she just really wins. But all I know is if you run into her R at any point in time, you're gonna have a bad time. Really great counter initiate team here coming out from RapidTables. I mean, there's no really good way to run into them because you're running into a Cho Rupture. You're running into a grab knockup, you're running into Gray's ult, Cassiopeia ult, just a lot of AoE, a lot of stuff that's going to hurt if at any point you get hit by anything that they have to offer. So really, really a strong just burst damage team coming out from RapidTables. But then you look over and you see the blue team, 9 odds. They have that same sort of like, we have really hard initiate, we have a way to get people into your team, and then we're going to press R on Orianna and you're going to have a bad time.
Or, well, if you're Orianna, this would be a good time.
Yeah,
but
I mean, it just depends on your perspective, I guess.
we got the party music going. I will remove those silly blockers for you. Alright, so it is going to be that Maokai jungle, fairly standard. As I said, I didn't expect anything too crazy from these teams. You know, they have both, well, RapidTables has already proved themselves, obviously, 2K elos, but 9 odds already with a win under their belt coming out here. So, yeah, Maokai jungle, it will be a Cho'Gath jungle already at top. Kind of be silly to reverse that. But again, we see another Blitzcrank. So, big pulls incoming, maybe?
Well, this time around, you'd have to combo the pulls into like a Cho'Gath Rupture, which would have almost the same effect. Not quite as devastating as a Skarner ult, but I guess you could combo the Cho ult into a Skarner ult, and hey, that's almost as good. So, I don't know. Cho Jungle's actually seeing a really strong resurgence in the North American scene. I've been seeing both the Odd One and St. Vicious jungle a lot of Cho'Gath, and has a lot of things running for it, just because it really doesn't get shut down too easily. I mean, as long as you run gold per 5s, you're gonna make it to late game, and you're gonna be that really huge threat with a lot of true damage to dish out. So consequently, he's gonna be going up against the Maokai, who's gonna be running the same basic build, unless you're underrated gaming's Zingy, who likes to run as many Doran's rings as possible on Maokai and just do a lot of damage that way. But it's a really great early game champion, a really great ganking champion. Can gank at level 3, can't really do a whole lot before that, but as soon as he hits level 3, you're going to feel it, as his ganks are really, really strong.
Kind of, it's also a little akin to a Nunu running around, just instead of Consume being a regular ability, it's your level 6. And you can use it on champions. Always some great true damage burst later in. But yeah, he can definitely get big, as you were saying. You know, we also have a Jax. I mean, Jax was a ban last time we had a game, and this time he is going to be that top lane. So Jax versus Aurelia. I really do think Aurelia is very safe top. I mean, anytime that anybody tries to just jump up on top of her and she's not liking it, all she has to do is just Equilibrium Strike, break up the combo, and then just Blade Surge away.
Yeah, I think that it really has some options, but really against the Maokai, I mean, for those few moments that you are CC'd by Maokai, I really feel like Jax has a lot to sort of like stun lock you in there, so there's going to be a lot of CC that Aurelia, hopefully Ionian Fervor is going to be enough to deal with that, but I guess we'll just have to wait and see.
Yeah, we're going to wait and see, guys. Game is now loading, so we're about to jump into RappingTables versus the 9 odds Space Jam in the background. But we are going to jump into the game, so guys, we will see you on the other side. And we're into the game, so very smooth, no corner bugs this time, thank God. And yeah, FourCourtJester here with the Rapid casting. Rapid, we've been doing this for a while, but when was the last time we ever did anything together?
I believe, I think there was a game we were supposed to shoutcast together for the very first GG Classic, but I don't think that one actually worked out because we had some crazy reworks to the casting schedule.
Yeah,
so that would have been a long time ago, but I know we've both definitely been having a few things going on in the meantime, but glad we've found our way back together here to cast some awesome League of Legends, and not necessarily on the server that I would have expected it to be, but EU West showing us that they have some really great players, some great teams, and looks like we have a couple of those here today in 9 Odds Gaming and RapidTables.
Indeed. Red Baron, Corki, Silent Knight, Sona, and then just whatever from Maokai Oriana. Temple Jax, not my favorite skin. Always more of a fan of Pax Jax, but at the same time, Nightblade Aurelia looking good. And there's that Battlecast Prime Cho'Gath. Big props to the John Shaft there.
Yeah, I definitely got to give it up for that. That's a legendary skin. I mean, you have Red Baron Corki holding it down as far as the legendary skins are concerned. So, you know, 1 for 1. But Siren Cassiopeia, actually a little bit of controversy behind that skin when it first came out, because it did in fact enable you to cast 2 ultimates if you hammered it fast enough. So that was a little bit rough, but they've since fixed that. Although I've heard a few things from some players saying that a few of her skills have slightly different hitboxes.
What? You saw that, right? Cassiopeia used her flash.
I'm a little confused about that. I mean, it's possibly an advanced play that I'm not.
And then he just gets
so
off to a good start.
I mean, these are the highest of the high elos, so you know they have some strategies we haven't seen yet. So
are we getting a pause? I don't know.
I'm not sure if they're pausing or not, because Wusalate is definitely not in the game.
Wusalat, yeah. Okay, I don't know what they want to do about that, but we have no pause coming out. Maybe we didn't put in pause functionality. This is a tournament draft, I do believe, but hey, whatever, it's their choice. Either way, RapidTables on your right-hand side, currently down a man and a flash, but thankfully for them, does not look like 9 odds actually knows where they are. You can see the 5-man invade going down, and the 4-man defense here at blue, because they don't want to give that up. Very important that a Cho'Gath gets his blue, and we do have actually the 3-man defense, because Aurelia is top lane, kind of babysitting the AFK.
Yeah, it's just like, all right, we're going to make sure you're safe. It used to be back in the day, to make sure that you didn't die to Karthus ults, if you DC'd, it gave you like 1,000 magic resist and armor. So there were a lot of glitches that happened where you'd come back basically invincible, and I saw that happen in a couple of NESL games, most recently for the American Go for LOL. But Wusalot not having any of those glitches, back in the game, ready to go, and is just going to go down here and hopefully be back in time to pull here for John Shaft. And yes, it does look like she just barely makes it back in time.
I'm more concerned about this 9-odd steal on the red. They're going straight to Maokai, and some really good pulls right there. It's going to be smiteless as well, so taking a little bit of a hit point deficit on GG. I'm just going to call him GG, but at this point,
He got Twisted Advanced level 2. So he's actually going to be going in here for a red buff level 2 gank from Maokai. Going to jump in here, get 1 proc of the red buff onto Bloodiz. So that's going to be a little bit of true damage. And already Bloodiz kind of starts things off at half health.
Not exactly where they want to be, but now also noticing that Maokai has the red and he's also top lane. Cho'Gath, he made that good decision. He's going straight down here to the Maokai red in order to even out the buffs, and Maokai just going to be returning to his blue. John Shaft does have his smite up as well, and bam, there you go. Level 3 John Shaft, red and blue. Same with the GG from that Maokai. So, both going smiteless, both reading into either invade as well as the top lane. So, good reflexes. Gotta expect that from top level players.
Yeah, and made possible by wards like you. And you do see a double wards drop there in the jungle, so early warding definitely pays off. But oh my goodness, Gigeka, or Gigeka, however you want to say it, is in for a treat here. He's going to get the flash, the knockback. Wusalada taking a lot of damage, and Sigu able to pick up first blood there. Actually, I guess Maokai actually drew the first blood. They're able to pick that one up, but really great game. Blue flash for it, so a little bit unfortunate there. But now John Shaft is actually going to catch Maokai out here, or maybe the other way around. I think Gigeka here is a little bit in trouble, although John Shaft will just back on out of there, leaving Maokai with just a couple hundred health.
I can't help but think that Wusalot wouldn't have been in nearly such a bad situation if he had that flash.
Flash, a good thing to have, especially against Maokai's, because then he's like flashing under turret, and you're like, oh, okay, I'm okay with you being here, as he takes turret shots, and you just kind of laugh at him as you do damage. But unfortunately, Wusalot having a little bit of a handicap, so we'll see if that comes back to bite him a little bit more.
Yeah, down 0-1 now. He does have that flash back up, does have that ignite, so he might look for a little bit of revenge against Sig, but at this point, I don't really see that happening. Dreamy, however, up top on that Jax. Jax been doing some good work against Irelia. Here comes John Shaft, though, with the have the level 6, but he will go down before he can take Blood Diz with him, and that's going to even out the kills, 1 apiece.
Bloodiz, I've heard that name somewhere before. I'm not gonna make myself think anything that's not the case, but either way, Blood is just narrowly surviving. That's why you pop those health potions. Health potions, most OP item in the game. That's why they're the most purchased item in the game, and enough to keep Blood is alive. He's gonna go back. What is he gonna pick up here? He's gonna get Doran's shield, health potions, and a ward. I love that pickup versus Jax. Doran's Shield's really an underestimated item, but ever since the health nerf on all other Doran's items, that giving 120 HP, pretty darn good. It looks like John Shaft's going to come over here, get a timer here on the blue buff, just kind of chill out, wait a second. It's not going to respawn anytime soon, but he's waiting for Maokai. Oh my goodness, so smart. John Shaft, oh, this is going to hurt so badly. There's the knock-up. The noms, oh my goodness, he's going to blast down Gigeka. He's not going to be able to run away. He gets the, he uses Arcane Flash, Arcane Smash, but the flash from John Shaft. Man, I feel like I'm rapping right now. Able to pick up the kill.
Now that was an excellent timing from him. Noticed the Maokai top and was able to just place out that perfect gank. Puts them up now 2-1, and both kills landing on top of John Shaft. So he has a lot of extra cash to his name. 1,800. In fact, is the richest player in the game at this point. Now coming up top again, Dreamy trying to go one-on-one here with Blood Diz, but Blood actually getting a little bit of stun, breaking up his combination. Is not going to be able to land the kill, but they are still asserting a lot of pressure top lane, and that's going to start adding up over time.
Jax went back and he bought a ward, but he still hasn't placed it. All he needs to do is press 3 in the bush and then he lives, but instead he's going to get hit here. No red buff, crucially enough, on John Shaft, so that plus the ability to jump away with that perfectly placed minion wave going to allow Jax to get out of there alive. And I love this by John Shaft. He is controlling the game right now, and now he's going to go back in for a lane gank because Irelia technically loses this matchup, but it doesn't matter if it's 2v1 and the other guy's a Cho'Gath. Now, Jigeka is going to be met with a counter gank here from John Shaft, depending on who goes in first. I really feel like whoever reveals themselves, it's kind of like a 2v2 top lane where two people just don't do anything.
Yeah, they're footsing it out. They're looking for that extra advantage so that we can have something happen. Otherwise, if nothing does go down, it's just a lot of wasted jungling time. That was apparently the cue, and they do not know John Shaft is up there, and this could be lights out for Dreamy. He does have that ward, as you said. He could use it for a leap strike. Instead, decides to use the flash, and now GG going to get caught out by that rupture. Lots of damage going down on top of him. That arcane smash again, breaking up the combo, and both of them are going to get out with less than 200 hit points each.
Now, great play there by Orianna, coming all the way up the top lane. I felt like he could have probably gotten a little bit more damage done, as he did hit level 6 and did have plenty of mana to drop that combo. But I guess it's kind of a response from Woosalot here. I mean, Cassiopeia could have come top as well, tried to make another play there, but instead said, hey man, if Orianna's going top lane, I'm going to shove this wave into your tower, force you to lose the XP, and then eventually pulled Orianna back to her lane. So a really great play there by Woosalot, able to pick up that blue buff by herself, and then just walk right back into lane. So Orianna's going to get a blue buff of her own, but I feel like Woosalot not having to have that jungler presence allowed John Shaft to stay top a little bit longer and pick up another buff for himself. So already you can see, man, this Cho'Gath is just huge right now. As a stack of feet, a couple kills, and double gold for 5s.
Wow, rocking both the Heart of Gold as well as the Philo this early on. 8 minutes, that's going to start snowballing him very nicely. Yeah, usually you only see about 1, maybe 1.5, you know, one of those components. But having both of them this early is going to be a big advantage for him. But, you know, with those kills, he needs to either keep up this big pressure, and you can see him again going in for that lane gank top, as Blood is just kind of ticking down hit points. Maybe trying to bait in Dreamy here. And does Dreamy figure it out? Oh, he already used the leap, and this could be devastating. For the level 6 is ready, but John Shaft, nope, he did use the feast. Okay, I thought he was going to save it for the kill. Used it midway, gave the kill to Blood, and that's just going to help out Blood immensely in the coming days.
And John Shaft is pitching a tent top. Like, he is signed up for like the Boy Scouts, the Cub Scouts, and the Girl Scouts, because he's a void beast. He's allowed in every group, and all of them take camping trips top lane, because that is the only place he's been all game long. I mean, he's been in the jungle, sure, a few times, but man, Irelia just has like a Guardian Angel up there already, and it didn't even cost her 2,600 gold. Zoning out Sigu there. There is the ult. Do we have a Nom up? No, 15 seconds left on that for John Shaft. Woosalot actually a little bit of trouble, forced the flash, but that pulls Jigeka out in a really horrible place. Is the Nom up quite yet? No. John Shaft still able to pick up the kill there, so wow. Just wow. I mean, if you thought Cho'Gath got huge, he's getting huge a little bit faster than normal here.
Yeah, especially if he can start getting some of those feat stacks, we can actually say that with impunity. But the flash into the rupture, not exactly happening. Taking a few tower shots, but John Shaft, he doesn't care at this point. He is walking the walk. He's the big cock on campus, you know.
Dude, he definitely is pulling things together for himself. Even has a pink ward as well. Going to be dropping that down just to make top lane that much more gankable. And still, no ward from Dreamies. He's just now going to drop that probably right on top of the... Oh, no. That is going to be perfect ward bait there for Cho'Gath. He's just going to walk straight top lane, drop a pink ward right there, and then Jax is going to have no other recourse. But already you can see Jax has picked up double Doran's blades, so... it's a really effective build, but is it going to be enough to get himself back into this lane? He's taken 2 turret shots. Man, I don't know. Dreamy is having a little bit of an issue now that Blood has a Doran's shield and Phage for already 1,600 health and 11 minutes into the game at level 8.
Eternal down here on the Blitz. I mean, we had the Q to go. We needed the Blitz pull of the Sentry, but unfortunately, nothing came of it. So John Shaft defeated in his gank in the bottom, but it does look like Dreamy forced back to home, picking up the tier 2 boots, going with the Ninja Tabby. Needs a little bit of extra armor and damage reduction, but... will it be enough? Up against that Phaged Irelia, I can only think that he is really on the back foot.
Yeah, and really, you don't want Ninja Tabi versus Irelia. She doesn't deal a lot of attack damage, and even you can see she's running. Oh, she is actually running AD Reds, so maybe that'll help a little bit more than I thought. But you really want Mercury Treads because it's all about that Equilibrium Strike. If Irelia did not have Equilibrium Strike, she could not play top lane because everybody would just like press they'd click on her and she'd die. But as is, she has really effective trades, and oh my goodness, Blood is dashing out of the way of that stun. Still got stunned, but was not within auto attack range for Jax there. Just really great Irelia play.
Yeah, Blood is definitely seems to know what he's doing in this top lane. Now we do have maybe learning a little bit here from John Shaft. GG is up here. It's Maokai with the lane gank. Blood does not seem to exhibit signs of knowing, but there's the twisted advance onto a creep, unfortunate. But I don't think it's going to be the kill. That was onto a creep.
Yeah, it was. He was just trying to take the second best option, Arcane Shift in there onto a creep, and then get the Arcane Smash off. So it wouldn't have rooted Blood is, but really with Ionian Fervor, you're not going to get a very long root at all anyways. But the real action here happening here on Orianna. Sigu finds John Shaft once again prowling around the jungle, and I mean, he was in there, didn't get the counter jungle too much, but John Shaft with Woosalot also dropping really low is going to be a little bit of a bodyguard. But top lane, GKK definitely taking a page out of John Shaft's book, and man, there's just too much action going on all over the map. Bottom lane, the God Hands finally hit, and that is one dead Sona.
Yep, Sona dropping to, I believe, the Buckshot. Sorry, not the Buckshot, the name of it escapes me, the the collateral damage. I don't want to call it the ult. I'm trying to get out of that habit. But yeah, collateral damage is able to take her down with a nice combo. And that was a really beautiful dive up top as well. In this top tower.
How do you land that? Oh my goodness. Eternals able to drop down to the ult. But oh my goodness, the lifesteal just barely keeping Loudon's alive, or Lodu N. I'm just going to call him LOD because I know there's a really great AD carry on the NA server. His name is LOD because, wow, Graves pulling it together. I mean, the God Hands are starting to destroy, man. Those giant gloves somehow able to reach out and touch somebody, and everybody they touch has a habit of dying. And so far, it's been both of the bottom laners here for 9 odds. So really, things just going all the way in the favor of RapidTables.
Woosalot picking up the blue is going to be heading back to town. Unfortunate for him, just not been able to get any kind of leashes down here with John Shaft. John Shaft trying to make too many things happen, especially this top lane coming up. Oh, the flash out of the stun was too good for Dreamy. He does have a ward. He could do a leap strike, but does not look like he's going to be going for that. Oh, there it is, finally at the end, but too little too late. Needed to do that a little earlier.
Wow, just wow. I mean, Jax did everything he possibly could, and he was actually winning trades against Blood is, which is so impressive after having been down so much. But man, John Shaft, he's everywhere at the same time, and you know, he's very large, but he's very in charge right now. 3 stacks of his ultimate, double gold for 5s, Mercury Treads, going back to pick up more items. What's he going to pick up? Probably going to look for maybe an Aegis next. If he's not an Aegis, then probably, yeah, it looks like it will be an Aegis. But bottom lane, even more action going on, forcing the flash off of Corgi, flashes over the wall, and then that combined with the Valkyrie will get him way far away back to safety, and even took an exhaust there, but he's well on the way to his Trinity Force, and Orianna just trying to solo this blue buff by herself thanks to her epic auto attacks, going to be able to pick that one up. But the ward will reveal the timing for that blue buff, and now she can't make it back to lane because she knows something's up. Woosalot is there in the jungle, prowling around, waiting for Sigurd to make a wrong move. Dreamies is down here as well. So here comes, wow, even Corky's landing up here, but he's going to get one shot.
Oh!
That's not the right lane for you to be in.
That was a brilliant flash out from the Sona Crescendo, enabling Woosalot to really defeat that 4 versus 1 gank. Wow, that was impressive. I mean, he started off a little rocky, but now without that bottom lane pressure, you can see how RapidTables going straight for the Dragon. They're going to be picking that up uncontested and unknown. There's no wards absolutely in that area.
And speaking of wards in the area, this blue buff has been pretty much perma-warded here by the red team. John Shaft says, hey, I didn't know when these buffs are going down, and he knows exactly. Oh my goodness. Eternals Did he get the... Oh my goodness, he was trying for the blue ray steal with his ult, but unfortunately not able to pick that up. But yet just like epic ward coverage here coming out from RappingTables. They have wards top jungle, in the opponent's jungle, just like everywhere that they need to be. Already Dreamy is actually still kind of having a dominating performance top lane. You can see Blood is pushed back to his turret. He's going to be able to farm up pretty significantly, but... man, yeah, this is just Jax versus Aurelia. I mean, Jax just has so much more burst damage, a lot of sustained damage as well, and the more you fight Jax, the better he does. And that's something that Aurelia really wants to do. She wants to pile on that true damage, but, I mean, magic damage and attack damage still pretty good if you have it in as large a supply as Jax does. He takes a couple turret shots, so now Blood is coming in for the kill with John Shaft top lane. Looks like there's a little bit of a trade middle lane, but there's the rupture. It does land the jump out from Dreamies. Is it enough? Will we use the Shogath noms? But no, Blood is able to take that one down for the kill.
Yeah, I think that John Shaft is now trying to give more kills towards Blood rather than himself. I mean, he's been off to a fantastic start. In fact, rocking double Ruby Crystal after his double gold for 10. And the more that we can actually accelerate Blood is, and I just realized I never reordered these, but the more you can accelerate him in the lane, it just means he doesn't have to come up there nearly as often, which means he can spread the awesomeness of Cho'Gath everywhere else. And I'm going to reorder these because I'm bad.
Yeah, I'm actually really impressed with Riot for putting that feature in. I really like that, so you can kind of like line up the lanes and see how everything is doing. As far as the mid lane is concerned, I can easily look down here and see that it's 154 CS to 141. So I'm really impressed to see Orianna out farming at Cassiopeia, who's traditionally one of the stronger farmers in the game. Although Orianna definitely up there herself. We saw her hitting above 200 CS in our last game, although she was doing substantially better, and now just man, I gotta say, I'm really still impressed with this. However, John Shaft, I'm a little bit more impressed with this guy. He's gonna look to probably turn one of those ruby crystals into a Kindle gem, the other into an Aegis of the Legion. Looks like he's well on his way to that Aegis.
Yeah, I do see that magic resist coming out. A little bit of a fist fight going on up top, or staff fight, whatever both of them are wielding. I don't know. They're custom weapons. Who cares? But Eka in the bottom coming out here with the Maokai. Out goes the crescendo, but it's not going to be enough for Corki as he does get insta-gibbed with the collateral damage and the silence from Eternal. Wow, look at that. The Grave's going to be able to run out of that. Does look like Cho'Gath up top was able to take down Dreamy yet again. So as soon as we saw Maokai at the bottom, John Shaft, you know, the top mind that he is, like, all right, we're killing top. This is a thing, and look at that. We did not even get a counter kill on top of RappingTables. 11-2 is the score, about 5,000 gold difference. Good grab there from Eternal, but not really too sure what he was trying to do. There's no follow-up whatsoever, and Corki not having the best of times down there.
Man, yeah, I mean, they just got robbed. Like, Gray is just... I am so angry right now. Like, he should have died, but he just flashed out with just a bare pixel of health, and usually there's just like that... You ever get the feeling that there's just like a random dot on you in situations like you go into a team fight, you come out with just a little HP, and then you just die for no reason. Well, that didn't exist there, as Graves just kind of walked out. There's like, hey, there's no damage here, so I don't really care, and actually wound up living there. And then Cho'Gath, what lane was he in? Oh wait, don't even have to think, because he's top lane every single second of the game.
Yep, and that's how that went. We do have a Bloodthirster and now a Zeal on that Graves, and if you take a quick look at the bottom, I mean, 3 kills to 0 as well as 180 creeps to 140. Definitely in the Graves' favor. You can see the item disparity as well. Phage came out for the Corki, but the double Dorn Blade that you might see more often in maybe at least NA, only the single blade instead going for that Sheen. So it is 20 minutes. He is a full item behind in that Trinity. Might have a gank here mid, though.
Oh wow, yeah, and the command shockwave does go down, and this time it is the correct lane to be in for Cleanse, as Corki able to help in that kill and ultimately pick that up. It's going to be you know, a little bit rough for Jax. He's sitting at 1 and 5, but looking a little bit better as far as the jungle and AD carry are concerned. Still, however, it's 3-11.
Oh.
Score definitely in favor of RappingTables.
That is a huge Cho'Gath. Look at him, just dwarfing that Orianna. We got a counter gank going down south on top of Eternal. Looks like he will drop, but can we get the kill here from John Shaft? No, does look like the flash too strong for him. Not using his own, a flash feast would have been 475 true damage. Not quite enough to take out Orianna, and oh wow, we're even able to take down Graves' bottom? Did not even notice Graves' bottom.
Yeah, definitely that's early aggression that we were kind of noticing during the middle of that Oriana Cho'Gath fight continued up until ultimately, yeah, that dot that I was talking about, that was an Ignite. So that was unfortunately, or rather fortunately, Lodu and going down. And, you know, one thing after another, starting to get 9 odds back in the game. I'm not sure whether or not the odds are against them, but they are in fact a little bit a little bit behind. Yeah, definitely rocking my sunglasses right now. But Trinity Force picked up on Corki, so he's got his first major item. He's going to probably be looking for something along the lines of a I'd go Infinity Edge next. It's super expensive, but it doesn't need to get stacked like a Bloodthirster. However, Bloodthirster are a little bit cheaper, and you do need some form of lifesteal as an AD carry. So I don't know. It'll be interesting to see who picks up what, but Irelia also picking up her Trinity Force, so all we need is one more for a Trinity of Trinities, and looks like we may have that on Jax, so it'll be interesting to see exactly what these guys go for, but Jax nowhere near that Trinity Force yet.
The triple trinity. Yeah, another dragon going down for RappingTables. They're still extending their lead to about little under 7,000 gold, which is fairly respectable at a 22-minute mark. But with those double kills that just happened on the bottom lane, Cleanse now able to finish up his trinity as noted, and that's going to be a big step for him, because going from two-thirds to just a full one like that is going to be such a big transition for him. Going to be doing some good work if he doesn't get pulled here. Journal looks like he had a little bit of a opportunity, decided not to go. Now we don't have that tower in bot lane, so you do have to be kind of careful in that bottom lane as Sona and Corki, but both of them very high mobility, especially with the auras that Sona can bring out and the Valkyrie over the walls. So they should be okay for now, but do you think they should be more roaming rather than stationary at this point?
Actually, speaking of stationary, Wusalot getting a little bit CC'd there. However, she's like, oh, I'll just kill him and then walk away.
Mm-hmm. We've done that a few times now with Wusalot.
Yeah, I mean, they just come in to gank him. They're like, all right, we got the power of friendship in the palm of our hands. And then one of the friends dies, and they're not friends anymore. It's like that power is just gone. Yep. And then you realize that Cassiopeia probably pretty strong right now. She is sitting at only 2-2, but with almost 200 farm and the workings of a death cap, picking up that needlessly large rod after going for Rylai's. She's putting out some damage. And speaking about putting out some damage, the bottom turret will finally go down. So will mid turret finally going down. Every single outer turret completely demolished there. 3-0 in favor of RappingTables.
I actually don't think we have any gold whatsoever here for 9 odds. I mean, 2 dragons down, 3 turrets. That's a lot of gold spread out across the team, and as you can see, the gold difference now about the 8,000 mark. So 8,000 gold, you can see a bit of an item disparity now starting to emerge, especially on that Cho'Gath. He did pick up that Aegis fairly quick, but we also now have a Shurilia's on Blitzcrank.
Yeah, so that means that if Blitzcrank wants to get to you, you're going to be pretty hard-pressed to get away from that. And so that's definitely going to be something that's is going to help out not only just Blitzcrank landing grabs, but also just the team as a whole. Because like we were talking about last game, you had that sort of like movement speed team composition with Siverult. You had a lot of like move speed increasers. Well, now with the Shurelias, it's going to allow Blitzcrank to do those hard initiates. And speaking of initiates, Blood's actually going to get stunned. What? How did she avoid that stun from Jax? I'm a little bit confused about that, but now here is Eternals up here putting out a lot of damage. However, there is the Ignite going down. Will Jigeka go down? Yes, he will. Blood is picking up 1 kill, and now with the Dreamies in there, takes the Shonama double kill for Irelia.
Shaman Lama Ding Dong. 5-1-2 Aurelia, 170 creeps to her name. That John Shaft again making big plays, but Eternal, you know, he's in a 0-1-5. No kills, 4 creeps, and a lot of assists. Exactly what support needs to be doing. Those pulls of his have been doing some decent work throughout the game.
And now we could actually see the first Baron of the game. They're actually going to use that Oracles on Cho'Gath to kill off that word. Now Blitzcrank and the rest of the team coming in here for RappingTables. Will there be anything that not a 9 odds can do against this? Blood is a little bit low, so he's going to have to be a little bit careful. But there's the grab. Stinger getting nuked down. Blood's taking a lot of damage, so he is low, but he has no fear. Jumps in there, and even becomes the recipient of an exhaust. And now with Tharwania getting away and then not getting away because she died pretty instantly. that was exactly what RappingTables wanted to do. They weren't necessarily seriously going for the Baron. I mean, they would have taken it if they'd been given the option, but they were just really looking for that turn. They're like, hey, we're going to force you guys to fight us even though you guys know you're going to lose, and that's a fight we're willing to fight because we're going to win. And that's exactly what happened, and they just turned off. Even Blood is jumping into the fight with about 400 HP. She said, hey man, I'm actually pretty scary right now, and they knew that. They exhausted her, and that was an exhaust that was not on Corki. As you can see, yeah, Cleanse definitely doing work in that fight, and by doing work I mean getting completely zoned out of it and just allowing Graves to just run rampant.
If by doing awesome you mean doing terrible, yes.
Yes.
It reminded me of that quote, exactly. But no, that was an awesome play there from RappingTables. 16-5, now sitting at 10,000 gold. And again, John Shaft picking up a kill. You mentioned 400 hit points on Aurelia, but within the space of one of her stuns, you know, with that equilibrium strike, probably would have been another kill or two. So at the bat point, I don't think she cared if she died. 2 kills for her would have been probably the ace and the rest of the Baron, which would have been marvelous, at least in her opinion. So nope. No fear whatsoever. I'm thinking, based upon her items, that we're going to be seeing a Guardian Angel coming out next for Aurelia.
Most definitely, I can totally appreciate that that call there, because Guardian Angel Trinity 4 is probably the most classic build for Aurelia. I know there are actually a few other emerging builds. I know Reaper of Azubu Blaze goes Frozen Mallet Wit's End, which is, I just, the more I look into the stats and everything that build has, it is absolutely brilliant, and definitely probably a preferable build. However, Trinity Force GA, super strong, and Aurelia making a name for that build right now, going for that Trinity, or the Guardian Angel next, by all accounts and purposes. However, a Cleanse Sash picked up on Corki, or rather a QSS. Actually, was that on Corki? Who picked up the QSS? Oh, that's actually Graves. So,
I was gonna say.
I was like, okay, who's doing that? Where? Huh? Yeah, and so that's just going to be for the mini stun from Orianna, the stun from Jax, the root from Maokai, the stun from Tharwania, and, well, not a whole lot from Corki to cleanse other than that Ignite, but I think that's all things considered. I think I thought Corki had it because he has cleanse in his name. I was like, well, cleanse,
yep,
obviously.
Cleanse, yep.
But, yeah, good to see a defensive item built a little bit earlier on Graves, but here is the team by Jackson in the absolute middle of everything, with GKK a little bit further in the middle, and right as I say, in the middle of everything, Cleanse gets knocked, or... Man, Jax gets pulled into the middle of everything. It has to back out of there. 5 members strong for RappingTables, looking to go for the Baron, and it's going to be pretty uncontestable, as Sigurd knows what happens when you go in there by himself. He got jibbed last time, so don't really want to see that. Cleanse makes a little bit of a stronger case for going in there, but is he going to be able to make a difference? Baron buff dropping down super low. It's going to be at 1,000, goes down, and now Sigu in a horrible position, forced to flash the Cho'Gath Rupture. Now Tharwania going to be able to make it out of there alive this time, but RappingTables has Baron buff, so probably not the greatest trade.
Yeah, well, they got a kill, they got a Baron, they played it absolutely as they needed to. RappingTables got to be very happy with that result. You know, another kill, more global gold yet again. Oh, it does look like we have actually lost a turret. Which one? Mid. Finally, a little bit of global gold coming out to 9 odd, but that dragon absolutely melted under that pressure. And looking at on Shaft right now in the jungle, he's had that Oracle's a good amount of time because he has 5, 0, and 6. In fact, the only person yet to die in this game, and he has a Frozen Heart on that to boot. So those cooldowns only going to bring more pain to 9 odds.
Yeah, he's at that Oracles for a good 15 minutes, and it does not look like it is going anywhere. You got 5 speed Shirelias on Eternals, so that guy is going to be moving ridiculously fast. It's on peak out there at about 500 some odd move speed, so when he wants to pop that Shirelias, he's going to be jetting around like nobody's business. Yeah, he's sitting at 505 with just his move speed increase from Overdrive, and when that Shirley goes off, that is going to be 40% more of that for him and everyone else around, so he's just going to be a ridiculously strong initiate, and that's just the great thing about having a Blitzcrank. You can run different kinds of junglers, don't necessarily need that strong initiate like a Skarner or like a Nocturne, because you got Blitzcrank there, and his hands are pretty godly from what I've heard, and now with this initiate, 5 men strong just over here. Whoa. There's the grab, Sigu with a knock-up even still.
Deleted. To quote my good friend Quickshot. Yeah. Wow, that was fairly stark in terms of just showing off their power. RappingTables taking the turret, 5-on-4, Blood Diz going in. We don't need no stinking Blitz. He could just jump in here with that stun. We had the crescendo go off, but it is not gonna matter one bit. This powerhouse RappingTables team taking the tower, going to take this inhibitor and 3 more kills to their name. It's looking almost pretty endgame at this point.
You know, I'm gonna cohere, converge, something
Agree?
or other. Agree. Yeah. Concur. Okay, concur. That's what I was going for. All right, concur with your analysis there. FourCourtJester calls it like he sees it, and he sees this game as pretty much over. I'm going to agree with that, as I feel a little bit better about using that word. Nexus goes down, and RappingTables will wrap up the game for the round of 16, putting them even further in this tournament.
Yep, they will advance pretty handily to the quarterfinals, and that means that we're going to have to go out back into the real world, into the internet, find out what is next on the brackets page. But 20-5, fairly one-sided game, living up to their 2,000, 2,100, and 2,200 ratings on their individual members. So GG, well played, excellent game from RappingTables, and we will say goodnight to 9 odds. May the odds ever be in their favor from the future onward. Did I get the quote right? I get it wrong. I think it's ever be in your favor.
I think it is ever be in your favor. I'd have to look it up, but I feel more confident about saying that.
Alright guys, so RockinEsports EU West $700 tournament, RappingTables moving on. We're going to find out the next game from the admin, so we still have content for you coming your way. FourCourtJester with rapid casting here, and we're not going anywhere. Just enjoy the music, and we'll get the next game going for you in just a moment.